You don't realize if you're getting recruited and you're a good high school player, you are going into an environment where everybody else is just as good. So what are you going to do to be better than them?
Parents, welcome back to Recruiting from the Bleachers, where we spotlight the journeys that begin in the stands and stretch all the way to the basketball courts and the boardroom. Today's guest is a living testament to that art. From the bleachers to the big leagues to the boardroom, Matthew Howard, a standout at AC Flora High School, went on to make his mark at the University of Pennsylvania, Ivy League, of course, where he started all 28 games of his senior season. He averaged 12.5 points and 6.8 rebounds per game. He led the team in steals, double-doubles, and ranked among the Ivy League's top performers in scoring, rebounding, field goal percentage. Man, Matthew's story didn't just stop at the final buzzer. He transitioned from the court to corporate America, where he now strives as a businessman, bringing his same discipline, vision, and leadership that made him a force in the Ivy League courts. And so today we're going to unpack the recruiting journey, his college experience, and how he pivoted into the professional world. So parents, grab your notebooks, take good notes on this one, because this is a young man that has gone from playing collegiate sports and is now in corporate America. So I am super happy to introduce Matthew Howard. Matthew, welcome to Recruiting from the Bleachers.
Thanks for having me.
I want to give you some applause there, because what you've done is worth applauding. And Matthew, I know we've got questions lined up here, but I wanted to ask you, what has been your driving force? Because you've been playing basketball a long time, and I'll be transparent with our audience here. I've known Matthew, since we were just talking before we came on air. I think I've known Matthew now for about 15. I know his parents, great family. But Matthew, what kept driving you when you went on to play college ball?
Yeah, I think about this a lot in other areas of my life, because basketball is not the driving force anymore. So how do I keep that same intensity? How do I keep that same focus? And ultimately, I've come to the conclusion, it's just like, I like getting better at things. Like, I just like seeing the best for myself. I used to love working out almost as much as playing in games. Working out, feeling yourself get better, feeling the ball handle get a little bit tighter, feeling the shot go in a little bit more, often was always just like so much more rewarding than anything else. I try to bring that into the daily life now. It's not as easy. It's not as obvious when you're getting better as basketball, when it's makes and miss or points at the end of the game. But it really is just that internal drive. And then, looking up to others, whether it's like Kobe Bryant, Russell Westbrook, some of the great athletes of our time, and then across sports as well.
Was basketball your favorite sport? Did you play any other sports?
I played football for about 4 years. I played Pop Warner and then played middle school for 2 years. I really enjoyed it. To this day, football is probably my favorite sport to watch, even more so than basketball. But I got popped a couple times. I didn't like equipment every day, and it was just a little bit too much for me to handle. I thought basketball was a much better fit for me.
Just a quick side question. Would you encourage a student athlete to play two sports or just really focus on one? What's your thought process on that?
I would encourage them to play as many sports as possible, 100%. I think about some of the patterns you learn over time from playing different sports, the different body movements you have with different sports. Football is very stop and go. Basketball is always on. So you're working different muscles, you're working different body parts. I look back on my career, and one things, like, this is probably the only thing I wish I would have done differently, is to play maybe a year or two in high school football or play on the baseball team. Coach Haller reached out to me pretty much every offseason and asked me to play baseball just to run the bases. And looking back on it, you look at athletes like Kyler Murray, you look at Patrick Mahomes, you look at Joe Burrow, you look at LeBron even, and Allen Iverson. All these guys played other sports. LeBron played football. Patrick Mahomes played baseball. So did Kyler. And Joe Burrow was a beast on the basketball court. So I really think there's something to that of just getting those different body motions. And I think it also keeps it more fun because you're not as focused on one thing and constantly measuring up against the gods of your sport.
Great point. Well, what was your recruiting experience like coming out of AC Flora, and who guided you, who helped you through the recruiting process?
Yeah, it was interesting. I think it's like two buckets when it comes to getting recruited. Like there's the guys like Julius Randle, who when I talked to my boys out in Texas, like they knew he was going to the NBA since he was like 5 years old. Like it's just a bigger body, just stronger and faster than everybody from the jump. And college coaches are going to find those people. Like those don't slip through the cracks. Right. And I put myself in the second bucket of someone that had a really good freshman year, was not thinking about college whatsoever at that point. But to capitalize on that opportunity, we put some film together. Back in the day, it's like crazy because social media now, it's like everyone has video of everything. But we put that film together and then literally sent emails to every college coach in America to just say, hey, I had a really good freshman year. Like, check me out this summer. I'll be with the South Carolina Ravens. And I think that really was part of the catalyst. But obviously you have to perform after that. Like, there were 2 games in particular in a Myrtle Beach tournament put on by Big Shots where I scored 30 back-to-back. After that game, after that weekend, I had 15 plus offers. And once you stack those offers, other college coaches get jealous and they're like, who is this guy? Like, should I be recruiting them? And that's kind of how it works and builds on itself. But throughout the process, it was a learning experience for pretty much everybody. Me, my coach at the time, Leon Brenton, definitely had experience in that. Coach Sanders probably had experience with players getting recruited in the past. But the reality was, for my parents and for my family, it was all new. And look at myself as somewhat of a guinea pig. Luckily, I was playing on the team where other people were getting recruited. And so I had to shout out my AAU coaches as well, Coach E and Coach T. So they kind of knew what to expect. Like every time I would have a good game, they'd be like, you haven't done anything yet. Like you are nowhere near close to as good as you could be. You don't have any really good offers. Like, what is this fantasy world you're living in? So you're constantly getting humble. And then you're playing with guys like Seventh Woods. You're playing with PJ Dozier. You're playing with Sindarius Thornwell. You're playing with Bryce Johnson. People probably, they may know who they are if they're in Columbia. These guys are getting recruited by big name schools. And it's that motivation and that knowledge that you have right there in real life. Okay, this could happen for me if I play well. This could happen for me if I focus. And then from there, it's kind of like that's once the offers started coming in, and one of those offers, quote unquote, because Ivy League can't offer you really, but one of the heavily interested schools was Harvard. And then Stanford came. That's when the mindset shifted from where is the best basketball school I can go to where is the best combination of everything that I can go to. And I think that's what drove the process from after junior year, call it in the junior summer, into when I made my decision early senior year.
So were you looking for a fit more academic focused for you, or were you thinking, I just want a great mixture of both academics as well as athletics?
The first thing I wanted was to go to South Carolina or Clemson. That's all I wanted. That was the gold star. That was the North Star for me. Carolina offered me my sophomore year. The coach gets fired. New coach comes in. Doesn't prioritize my recruitment. Clemson's recruiting me lightly, but it never got to that point where an offer was extended. So I kind of knew those were likely off the table because I didn't want to play my senior season with college coaches coming to watch me and having that pressure still on me to perform each and every game. I thought of it as, the academic side. I guess I kind of started thinking of like, I wanted like an academic floor. I wanted to go to a school that had a reputation for quality academics, right? I'm not even looking at like a future job or the network or some of the things that I learned that are just as important once I got to Penn, once I got to college. I'm not going to go to a school where the academics aren't renowned because I can't go to a school where the academics aren't renowned.
Right.
And I think it'd be a disservice. Like I was good, but I kind of think I had a healthy reality of where I stood in terms of my chances of going professionally. or to play as a professional athlete, while also like just prioritizing different things. Like I was a basketball player, but like at the end of the day, school meant a lot to me. Staying at AC Flora meant a lot to me. Like I had opportunities to go to other private schools and play, but there's just things that like were more important to me at the time. I think that's what's held true to my life at this point.
That wraps up another episode of Recruiting from the Bleachers. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and I appreciate you tuning in. Be sure to join us next week for another insightful conversation. Stay connected with us on Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube at Recruiting from the Bleachers. Like, share, and follow to keep up with the latest updates. And don't hesitate to leave your comments and questions. We'd love to hear from you. For a deeper dive into the basketball recruiting process, check out our book, Basketball Recruiting, A Parent's Perspective, available now on Amazon.com. Parents, remember, from the bleachers to the big leagues to the boardroom, let's keep cheering and steering our student athletes towards success. We'll see you next time.